to calm down in defense, not be so desperate to get the ball out of their end immediately. Because you can, of course, if you have goalkeepers like Scrub, Speed, Cucks in your team, you can sit back for a while. You're not going to be in a bad spot as long as your communication is on point. So it's going to be interesting to see just how high up the field Mouse are looking to push today. That's the first real chance of the game. Well saved by Alpha.
Alpha will now be on the ball as he blasts it long. And tend to try and find K-Dot maybe up on the backboard. Both these teams just almost showing off that clearing muscle right now. Okay, see how far you can go? Okay, I can go even further with my next one, as it seems like Mouse will come out a bit on top for the time being. But end to end right now, we are doing almost doing a bleep test across this length of the pitch. Looks it, takes his time, blasts it off the ceiling. Vitality with an opportunity to try and lock down here, as there's actually very little boost on a couple of players. Scrub Killer is set too far in the middle, and Speed will not be able to follow.
Yeah, I'm really, curious as to why Cucks didn't pass the ball to Speed there. We've seen that, link up happening many times in the past since these two teamed up together. Speed downfield, Cucks are firing the ball at him for the redirect. But hey, here comes Speed all by himself. If nobody's going to pass the ball to him, he's just going to go all the way alone. That's 1-0 to Mouse. No pressure on Speed as he sets up this shot.
Yeah, Speed decides that, okay, we've both tried blasting the ball at each other. Here's me going to do just a little dainty touch to myself. That was exactly what he needed to try and put the first goal in. It's going to be Vitality now trying to respond. This is going to probably be one of the fastest games of Rocket League we've seen this season. Both teams very happy to try and let their pace do the talking. That's almost a second touch from K-Dot. But Ferry on the far side to try and maybe get the ball over too. Here is Speed, your goal scorer. Lovely pinch. Straight to the corner. Cooks can follow this up. Maybe get a setup as well. Who's around for him? He's taking everybody on. And Scrub Killer straight down into the path of Alpha.
That was a great pass that time by Cox. I was asking earlier, why has he not done that? And now he has. K-Dop's walking through mind game. He went a bit too far wide, and he's not thought too much about the recovery as well. Mouse having a good time so far, but get the ball out of their half. They're not getting pinned back at all. They're not double committing at all, which is great signs for them moving forward.
Alpha, a little bit of time. Goes straight to the air. This is where he's at his strongest, but Mouse doing better than giving too much time up in the air. Try and shut him down as quickly as you possibly can. Scrub, not a great spot for this. He's going to probably need to get some support. Which that support is coming from Fairy Peak. Over to Alpha. Crossbar will deny Reno Vitality. But they're inching closer and closer and starting to win the possession war.
They know how accurately they have to shoot the ball past Mouse if they're going to get goals. But that was just a bit too high from Alpha. Still, though, the speed to get into position was impressive. Warning for Mouse. They need to really pay attention to those infield passes.
Scrub gets it over the top. Be able to give a little bit of breathing room for his team. As a launching clear from Cooks here. Ceiling as well, gives Speed an opportunity to lay it off to Cooks. And that is a fantastic save from Alpha. Now, so the offense they're putting together does look pretty deadly. Both teams not lacking right now for offensive options. As Fairy had an open net to aim for. I think he was almost surprised by it.
It looks like the accuracy is letting down Vitality at the moment. They've had good chances. But Mouse, meanwhile, they're actually hitting the ball on target and they're getting their shots saved. So they're testing the goalkeepers. It looks like Reno Vitality are not. There's another one on by Speed. So far, the goalkeeping has been good for Vitality, except for the one goal they've conceded. The other end of the field, they're having a battle with the woodwork, and it's not going their way.
K-Dot try and on as many players as possibly can. Alpha brought in 0 boost for him, but when has that ever stopped him? Speed powers the ball. He's got Cooks here again! Off the crossbar! Finally, one of them goes for Vitality in the woodwork with an MVP performance so far this game.
Always such a difficult opponent to get the ball past. Vitality only have 20 seconds now in game one. It's been incredibly solid for Mouse. They've looked like the real deal here. But Vitality have come close a few times. Will they get another chance before 0? You bet they will. Very big puts it in. And it was again that pass straight out into the middle. Cucks was trying to get the ball clear, but he ended up just centering it. Very Peak puts it in, and he's not going to miss from that range. It's just careless by Cucks to give him that opportunity.
And the issue there for Scrub is that when the ball is played to the corner and you do have ball cam on, at no point does Fairy Peak come into your vision until he's actually just hit the ball over the top of you. So it's almost a blind spot for him in that situation. Not great, as Mouse do drop their lead at the last possible moment. We're going to go to overtime, Johnny. And if this is a good sight as to how the rest of this series is going to go, then trust me, I am looking forward to it.
Guys really need to try and get this one over and done with as quickly as possible, though. They, of course, need this win more than Vitality do. They need game wins more than Vitality do. They're under pressure now, though, and if Vitality can start hitting the target more often, Mouse might be in trouble. You can already tell Mouse are afraid of their current position. They're all backing off so far. Look at the space that Vitality have to work with. Look out for the ground plays. They're going to try and exploit that.
Profile Vitality doing a better job of trying to control the midfield. Hit it too much further. It's a good half-body clip from Speed, but you can see each time they play this, unless they can get a second touch from somebody on this team, it can be very difficult to lock Vitality down. Good layoff. Cooks it for Scrub. Three-way passing play. Shot didn't have enough venom on it to really test Vitality. Puts the ball down. It's a good little bump from K-Dot. Just displaces the young Scot. Oh, well, we'll just clear long again. And this is the annoyance when you play at this level, is how well these players can hit this ball. You always feel like you're deep enough, but nope. The moment they make contact, you realize, okay, could probably have just been sat on my backboard. I've been fine from there.
Yeah, this is just getting better and better for Vitality. We saw some nice passing play from Mouse. Scrub didn't put the shots on target when he was given it. But Vitality overall, they have got control of this series. They are just waiting for Mouse to make a mistake. And here comes Alpha with the dribble that we've been looking for. And this is the danger. If Mouse are going to sit this far back against players like Alpha, Fairy Peak, even K-Dot with the bounce dribble into full volleys, he's a terrifying player on the ground. They all are. But you can't give them this much space. They're starting to get more and more chances.
Ball's going to be played over to Alpha. Straight into the middle, though. Fairy Peak for the backboard to finish the game. Doesn't get the triple tap, but might not need it off the post and cooks it. Nerves of steel to wait for it to come back across the face of his own car. Fairy Peak. Back over to K-Dot. Both teams just end to end, trying to find some way to get the goal that is required. But takes his time. Has to try and force Speed into a challenge. It's not typically a place that you want to be. K-Dot will not be able to reach this ball. Almost 3 minutes of overtime played. Still no indication of what it's going to take to separate these two teams. Scrub Killer now has got K-Dot in his sights. Chooses to go for the boost. Got options. He's got time. Speed is not needed because Scrub Killer will rinse the entire defense.
Okay, we wondered if Scrub was going to come out hot in game one. Well, there's your answer. He just picked up that ball in defense, nips it past the first defender, and he just makes a beeline for the ceiling and places the shot perfectly. That is outrageous, and that is maybe going to sting a little bit with Fairy Peak and K-Dot. If there's one player that they don't want to do well in the Mouse lineup, it's got to be their former teammate Scrub.
And we've seen just how Scrub can play when he's in this sort of mood, when he's got the mentality of, okay, I am going to rip your defense to shreds, and that's exactly what he did for that goal. It took a little bit of space, a little bit of boost, and it created a whole lot of trouble for Vitality. And there is game number one for Mouse Sports, but Johnny, you know, if it takes us nearly 8 minutes to try and separate these teams, I very am interested to see how the rest of this series go, because this looks like it's going to be a very close one.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have to remember, although Mouse just got that win, it did look like the series, or game rather, was moving a bit more and more towards Vitality's control towards the end. So that's not Mouse out of jail yet. They're not completely in control of this one. I think if we pick up where we left off in this overtime, it's going to be Vitality getting more chances to score. And it's those dribbles I really want to see Mouse shutting down faster. They can't give Vitality that space, or they're going to start to get so many opportunities to score. And they're bound to take one or two of them.
Absolutely. I think you just hit the nail on the head of that. You need to try and shut down the dribbles. But for me, there's not much in terms of passing plays. Yes, I think they started to slow down a little bit as the game got more tense, as that's going to be an immediate rebuttal from Alpha.
Well, that's a good response. That's a good way to start a game after losing in the previous one. Great speed from Alpha after the kickoff. It's so typical to see quick kickoff goals after such a long drought. Vitality get to play with a lead now.
Their first lead of the series. Certainly the ceiling from Alpha. Such a wild card when it comes to his offense. He's going to use about 100 boosts to try and beat you. It's more of a question of how many players is he going to try and take out. Speed. No need to lay that off for a half volley to Caleb, who's got Alpha to aim for. Alpha will not be able to be challenged in time, but luckily for Mouse, his first touch just gave too much work for him to do.
Long time left in the game for Mouse. They've been playing so calmly, they've been playing so composed all day, but are they going to be able to keep that up if the goals start flying in? They didn't have much to say about this one. Paid off, just a brilliant forward run. But this is exactly why you can't give these guys space on the ground. That's just too good for paid off. No chance for any goalkeeper worldwide.
And this is something that Vitality have seemingly adapted to from the last game. First time around, they were very much playing the ball and immediately starting to rotate players back. This time around, happy to leave people, use them as a passing option. And it's what's caught them out so far. 2 goals down, Vitality looking to consolidate this lead. Our Sports just need to calm it down as well. Need to stop the bleeding. Start figuring out how they're going to come back into this game. Hooks in. His first touch will not be too helpful towards that cause. Completely killed the play off.
It looks like Mouse have just entered today's series with the exact game plan that we expected. They're trying to limit their misplays, trying to keep double commits to the absolute minimum as well. But I think they thrive in the chaos a bit more than Vitality do. If they can start to surprise them just ever so slightly, that might be one of the ways that they can take control of this series again. Vitality are very much in it. Oh, hold on a second though. That's not exactly the best touch of defense, is it?
Absolutely not. And it appears that we temporarily lost an Alpha as well before that shot went in. Still one of the best shots we've seen this weekend, Johnny. Maybe behind the triple touch that we got earlier on.
No, it wasn't quite that, but still, that was a very nice rebound. Maybe the instinct kicked in. That's one of the problems of free play in Rocket League is both goals count as a goal for yourself, so you get into the habit of just putting it into whichever one you're closest to. But yeah, that's an interesting situation for Vitality. We are going to wait and see if Alpha can get his connection sorted. But was it Alpha who put that in? I don't think it was. I think it was Fairy Peak, wasn't it?
No, it was Fairy.
Yeah, it wasn't. Imagine if Alpha just starts aerialing and then he disconnects into own goals as he leaves the lobby. That would be incredible.
It would be quite the goal to try and score, especially like I feel like if you press the button and then like tab out or something, I really want to see someone try and score this goal. Just start boosting, tab out, let it keep boosting you up into the air and have it score without you even tabbed into the game. Somebody get onto that.
I've seen people do this where they, in not a ranked game, but if you're just playing online and then you leave, you get replaced by a bot. So if you start an aerial and then you're going to hit it, then you leave the lobby, you get like instantly replaced by a bot. You can get the bot to score a cool aerial goal. Maybe I don't know if that's exactly what Alpha was going for there. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but that's definitely something that came to mind when I saw this goal. No way is that Alpha, but no, it was very peak for the own goal in. Must have been a bit, impacted by the disconnect, probably distracted or something. But hey, you've just got to deal with that as a professional Rocket League player. And we're seeing this quite a lot recently. Everybody's internet connections are failing them. But you just have to get on with it. The team who can respond more effectively to these like breaks in the action, these resets of momentum, that's the team that's going to come out on top of this kind of position. But still, it's looking good for Mouse in the day. They've, I think, got a good chance of coming out with a good result here, but Vitality leading game 2 still.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do look at the sort of the play styles that we've seen so far. Vitality playing pretty much like Vitality do, utilizing just very weird